Welcome to the landing space. I'm Kelly Schmidt, and this is a place where nothing is off limits. Real conversations, real stories, real people. Take a breath with me. Let's land. Today I want to talk about something that I do not think we talk about enough. The knowing. That deep inner knowing that lives in your soul, before your mind can even make sense of it. The kind of knowing that shows up in love, in relationships, in the connections that feel like they were always meant to be, even when the timing makes no logical sense. I'm a spiritual person, guided by God, by Source, by the universe, whatever that means to you. And I know it's different for everyone. There is something bigger than all of us that is always working on our behalf. And today, I want to tell you a story that proves that to me more than anything else in my life. So I want to tell you a story about when I was a little girl. My grandparents had a place at Higgins Lake in Michigan, and we lived in Illinois. And we traveled up there all the time. Beautiful place, so many memories as a kid. And on the same street, a family had built another house. They were the Schmidts. And there was a boy. His name was Joel. And I just always knew. Funny, I keep getting told stories, and I think my family loves to embarrass me on this one, but I would always stand at the picture window just to get a glimpse of him. Or watch him on his boat, or playing basketball down by his house. I know that sounds a little intense, but it was not that. I was just always drawn to him in a way I could not explain. So my sister hung out with his sister, Julie, and Julie thought I was the annoying cheerleader girl, which is hilarious because I never made a cheerleading team in my life, but at least she loves me now. And at one point I was in their house and someone said, "Hey, Joel, Kelly thinks you're hot." And he looked at me and he said, "Oh, she'll be hot when she's older." I was a little girl that crushed me. But somehow I still knew. Fast forward to 2008. I was up north with my son and my parents, 4th of July. And my grandma mentioned pretty casually that Joel was getting separated. Not that everyone in my family didn't know how I felt about him, so it was casual and something lit up inside of me. That night, everyone was outside watching fireworks, standing around a bonfire. Our street up north is just fabulous. And I was waiting. I had heard he might come down. It was getting late. He was not showing up. I almost gave up. And then I walked out of my grandma's house to head back down to the lake, and I saw him walking down with his parents. And I just knew the night was going to turn a little different. The neighbors all helped us connect that night around that bonfire. And from that point on, we were inseparable. And we still are. Now hear me out. I'm not going to pretend it was all easy after that. It was not. Blended families are beautiful and complex. There are exes and children and histories and 1,000 moving parts that can pull two people apart if you let them. We did not let them. Not because it was easy, but because we both knew something. Our souls were connected. And we were going to fight for each other every day, all day. We've done counseling together. We've grown. We've chosen each other over and over again, even when it would have been easier not to. And we have moved through every hard thing, every is a big word, with love and ease. It hasn't always been easy. Not by bypassing the difficulty, but by choosing how we move through it. Love is not the absence of hard. Love is what you choose when hard shows up. And here's what I want you to take from that story. The soul knows things. Things that the mind cannot explain. Things that do not make logical sense, right? Get out of your head. It's not logical sense. Things that other people might look at and say, okay, Kelly, that may have happened a time or two in my life. But the soul knows. I'm a spiritual person. I'm guided by God, by Source, by the universe, by whatever you want to call that thing that is bigger than all of us. And I know that is different for everyone. And I'm not here to tell you what to believe. I'm here to tell you what I know. When you trust what your soul already knows, when you stop suppressing the parts of you that feel too big or too different or too much, life starts to align. Not perfectly, definitely not on your timeline, but in a way that is undeniably right. That little girl at the picture window in Higgins Lake knew, and the universe delivered. Nearly 20 years later, around a bonfire on the 4th of July. It is always right on time. So here's what I want to leave you with today. Be all of you. The spiritual parts, the weird parts, the parts that people do not always understand. The dreams that have been sitting in your soul for longer than you can remember. Do not suppress any of it. Because the parts of you that feel the most different are usually the parts that are the most true. And somewhere out there is someone who needs to see exactly those parts. To know they are not alone. To know it is safe to be all of themselves too. This is why I built this show. This is why I keep coming back whenever something hits real hard. Messy, guided, trusting the process. Not on a schedule, just on purpose. If this episode stirred something in you, if you have a story about trusting what your soul knows, even when it didn't make sense to anyone, I really want to hear from you. Slide into my DMs at Kelly Schmidt on Instagram. Tell me your story, on camera or off, however feels right. This space is safe. Nothing is off limits here. Let's land.